He's saying here that he wants the user's information, like the first name, to show up, the last name and the student ID. He wants the last access as well. So we'll specify that and we'll say no problem. All right. The columns in the report. Do you want all the columns from the grading center or just specific ones? Like, do you want a report on students for just the final exam or just the midterm or all the columns from the grading center, which include activities, assignments, and everything? It comes back to you. If you say all columns, it will show all the columns. In the report, do you want all the columns from the grading center or just specific ones? Like, do you want a report on students for just the final exam or just the midterm or all the columns from the grading center, which include activities, assignments, and everything? It comes back to you. If you say all columns, it will include all the columns. The columns that are currently there will be in the same order as they are in the grading center. No problem. It will include all the columns. The columns are currently in the same order as in the rating center. No problem. Specific columns. I want, for example, the final exam, oral exam. That's it. I press Control. I just want these two. It will show me just those two in the reports. What will it show? All the columns. The columns. No problem. Add signature and date line. Specify. In the registration information, I want to add a line for the signature. And I also want the date at the bottom of the page. So a line for the signature and the date. Information about the course, just specify it. And then down here, there's something called preview before you send it. And it will generate the report as a PDF. So if you click on preview here, what will you see? You'll see what the report looks like. All right. And this report is for student number 5. And this is the name of the course and the last access. All right, and this report is for student number 5, and this is the name of the course and the last access. Then it will show you all the columns in the grading center and their corresponding values. What's the total score, and what about the midterm, the practice test, the final exam, and everything else? You can scroll down and move around, scroll to see each student's report, signature, and date. Of course, I have a lot of columns. When you scroll down, you'll find at the bottom of this student's report the signature and the date. You can scroll down to student number 6 and you'll find everything about him in the grading center, and so on. This continues until you reach the last student, which is basically a file or a report from the grading center about the students, and you can print it. It's a PDF. How? Control and P from the keyboard. There you go. Control P from the keyboard. Then you tell it what here. Save as PDF or Microsoft Print to PDF, or just save as PDF, and then you click save, so it downloads as a file in what? PDF format on your device in downloads folder. This is how we generate a complete report as a PDF. We pull it from the grading center. This is if we want it from the grading center. Okay, also, of course, this is one of the most important things. These are the key points in the grading center. Among the things that seem a bit like these are the following. When you assign homework, a test, an activity, or a task, sometimes there are marks, which are the indicators you see. These indicators, you see some of them, not all of them, require grading. When you create an assignment, the student submits their attempt. You need to go in and check the attempt, check grading details, and review the attempt to see the student's work. This way, you can see if they submitted a Word document, then you give them a grade for that attempt. After that, you click the submit button to finalize it, meaning you've graded that student's attempt. As for the mark that indicates an attempt in progress, which is in blue, it shows that the student was actually trying to submit their attempt, but it failed. So that's the summary of the situation. The attempt failed, or it became a pending attempt. When you create an assignment, the student submits their attempt. Check the attempt. Review the grading details and student's work. If they submitted a Word document, read that document and review any text they wrote. Then grade the attempt. Click submit to finalize grading. A blue mark shows a failed attempt. In summary, the attempt failed or is pending. The student couldn't submit. Possible issues: internet disconnection or large file. The attempt remains in progress. Then you click the submit button to finalize it, meaning you've graded that student's attempt for that mark. As for the mark that indicates an attempt in progress, which is in blue, it shows that the student was actually trying to submit their attempt, but it failed. So that's the summary of the situation. The attempt failed, or it became a pending attempt. Consequently, the student can't successfully submit their attempt. It could be that their internet disconnected while they were trying to submit, or there was an issue with the file they were sending, like it being too large. So this indicates to you that the attempt will remain in progress and won't change. In this case, it's best to give the student another chance or another attempt to submit the assignment again, meaning a second attempt. So the student can't successfully submit their attempt. It could be that their internet disconnected while they were trying to send it, or there was an issue, with the file they were sending, like it being too large. This indicates to you that the attempt will remain in progress and won't change. And in this case, it's better for you to give the student another chance or another attempt to submit this assignment again, meaning a second attempt. To open, a student might open and submit an assignment without sending anything. This can happen, and you might see a circle indicating an attempt needing grading. Upon review, you may find no Word file or any attachment. The attempt is successful, but empty. You'll need to inform the student that their submission lacked an attachment. This is a mistake on the student's part. So you might see a circle indicating a grading attempt. When you open it and review the attempt, you might find that the student sent nothing, no file. The attempt is successful, but without sending anything. Therefore, you will know upon opening. When you do this, you'll see that the student attached nothing. It's empty. You'll have to tell them their attempt was submitted, but no file was attached. This is something the student mistakenly did. You decide if they get another chance, as this happens often. For pending attempts, students might have tried attaching a file, but something went wrong. That attempt remains uncertain. When you do this, you'll find that the student attached nothing. You'll have to inform the student their submission lacked an attachment. You may allow a resubmission if it was an error. Pending attempts may involve attachment errors. Assignments differ from tests. Tests are true, false, or multiple choice. This matter is up to you with the student. If you want to give them another chance to attach that file, they might have submitted without attaching. Pending attempts indicate failure. The student might have tried to attach a file but faced an issue. That attempt remains uncertain. Assignments and tests differ. Tests have true, false, or multiple choice questions. Why see this circle? What's the reason? Students must submit and see their score immediately. Seeing this circle indicates an issue. In the case of a problem that we don't know about, it might not be clear to us. This is in the context of assignments. However, in the case of a test, the situation is a bit different. When you have a test and all the questions, keep this point in mind, are true, false, or multiple choice. Why does this circle appear? It shouldn't. Students must submit their attempt and immediately see their score, like 10 or 15 points. If you see this circle, something is wrong. There's a problem with your test settings. One main issue is checking test settings. The completion required setting causes this problem. The disable option can also cause this problem. Disabling it causes this problem. The due date setting can also lead to this issue. In the test settings, there's a problem with the settings you've configured. One of the main issues we'll look at together is if we check the settings of any test, you might have something called completion required. This completion requirement causes this problem. You might also encounter some of the main issues if you set certain configurations in the test. One of these is the disable option. If you choose to disable it, it will cause this problem as well. Another setting that could lead to this issue is the due date. The due date is also something that, if you set it, will cause you this problem. Specifically, these three settings, due date, disable, and completion required, if you select any of them, they could lead to the issue that appears in the grading center, which is the yellow circle, or the blue circle. Therefore, you will need to go into each student who has that circle and check their attempt. But we want to make sure we have the assignment visible, so you will need to access their attempt. The due date can cause this problem. These settings, due date, disable, completion required, can cause grading center issues, like yellow or blue circles. You need to check each student with that circle. Ensure the assignment is visible by accessing their attempt. Click Save and Exit to make the grade visible and remove the yellow mark. This could cause you the issue that appears in the grading center, which is the yellow circle or the blue circle. Therefore, you will need to go into each student who has that circle and access their attempt. But we want to make sure we have the assignment visible, so you will need to access their attempt. And you'll find something here under the name Save and Exit. You need to click on Save and Exit here so that the student's grade appears and the yellow mark doesn't stay, allowing the grade to be visible to the student.